Hi guys, how are you doing? It's Elaine Bintz, fitness coach and nutritionist, and it's the end of March in 2024, and I hope everybody is enjoying spring already. So today's plan is to talk a little bit about 3 coaching skills. So my challenge to you for the month of April, so if you're listening to this when it's first airing, it's the end of March, and I'm presenting the challenge to you for April of 2024. Now know that these challenges, like move your body more in March and eat more fiber in February, these challenges can be implemented in any month and in any combination of challenges. They don't necessarily just have to be focused on 1 month at a time. But I present it to you so that you have some variety. So I've had a few questions about that. So today's challenge, what we're walking into for April. So first quarter, January, February, March can be a bit of a transition out of Christmas, weather's changing, spring break, there's a lot happening. But this time of year, April, people are starting to think about getting in a bathing suit, traveling, maybe there's weddings, graduation parties. There's a lot happening in the summertime in the next few months to come. So my challenge to you is to apply coaching concepts. So these 3 concepts are planning, prioritizing, and preparing. So these concepts can be applied to anything. It's not just diet and exercise. So this actually comes from my precision nutrition, the nutrition coaching program I have been working on now for 3 years. I am on chapter 17 out of 20, and I am bound and determined to finish this certification this year, 2024. But there's a list of fundamental skills as a nutrition coach that we follow using this program. And the first skill is plan, prioritize, and prepare. So there's all these strategies, and one of them is a great infographic that you can use honestly for any area of your life, whether it's financial, relational, emotional. And the infographic is what outcome do you want, and something you could do this month, something you could do this week, and something you can do today. So I'm going to go through these step by step, one by one, and then share with you some strategies to implement in your own life. So the first one is planning. So I think if I wasn't so into diet and exercise in the health field, I probably would be doing something logistical or something with planning, because I do like planning. So big picture nutrition world. So anything that you put in your body affects how you feel, your mood, your emotions. So you don't necessarily have to grocery shop and meal prep and do all the traditional from scratch cooking. You could literally meal plan to eat foods that are already prepared and convenient for you in your life for whatever will fit your life. So let's start with planning. So the first skill, I still use an old-fashioned planner that has like the days and the times so that I can put appointments and then organize my life. I find it's easier to write it. So you don't necessarily have to use a handwritten planner. A lot of people plan using their phone. They literally use some sort of a Google Calendar or some electronic shareable calendar that they can share with a partner. And then they have access to that information, whether it's, work appointments, doctor's appointments, things with kids, things like that. So the first skill is planning. So usually when someone initially will hire a nutrition coach or a fitness coach, the person hasn't been doing a whole lot with physical activity or diet. So the first step in any process would then be to plan. So one thing I do personally in my life, and if my clients want to do this, they can, is I use a meal plan template. So this I got, it just has the days of the week. So starting with Sunday and then going through Saturday, I kind of color code a little bit, but it kind of gives me an idea of, okay, what night do we have soccer? What night do we have plans with family? Is there a party? Is there a birthday party? How does this affect our meals? So just kind of jotting down. It doesn't have to be anything major, and it doesn't have to be on a dry erase board like that. I think I got this at the dollar store for like $1 probably 10 years ago. But just having a place to write, like, oh, I have a meeting downtown. Oh, I think there is a Chipotle around the corner. I could grab like a quick sandwich, or I can get something that's healthy there. So just kind of strategizing in your own mind, where can you plan to eat or pick up food, or plan to bring food to where you are. So depending on the parties you go to, they may or may not have healthy choices that might not fit into your diet at the time. You could pack a cooler, put some food in the cooler, bring your food with. You could have a protein shake or a smoothie on the way to or from an event. So that first step in planning really is key, because if you have not made any plans in your world for what you're eating or how much or with whom you're eating, usually last minute decisions are sometimes less healthy than the well thought out plans in regards to your diet. And then 2 is prioritizing. So again, I'm going to go back to my planner, but prioritizing is usually if I write it down, like this time of year, if you haven't already submitted your taxes, completing your personal tax return, making sure that you make the appointments for your pets. Maybe you have dogs and they have vet appointments. So for me, if it makes it to the planner, I've at least had the forethought to think about what are my priorities and what do I need to plan for. But then on the second part of it too is making the time. So one of the skills associated with planning, prioritizing, and preparing is making time. So oftentimes with me as a coach, people will say, wow, I never really thought about it. Or, tell me about your everyday habits in the morning, getting ready for the workday or getting the kids out the door. So do you guys grab a granola bar? Do you grab a banana? Do you eat, sit down? What are your systems? What are kind of your routines in your house? And just making time to think through what's working and what's not. And then to prioritize, say like, it's Sunday and I haven't gone grocery shopping. Maybe I start my Instacart grocery list, or maybe I run to the store just to get some ideas of some healthy, maybe even pre-made salads or fruits that the kids can grab on their way out the door, or something you can have as a snack, are easy like grapes or bananas or apples. So prioritizing, making time in your calendar to even think about your diet, or maybe when you're going to have time to go for a walk or exercise. So making something a priority, usually it will happen more likely if you have had some time to think about what you want to do. And then the third piece is preparing, which of course we have to have grace with ourselves. It takes time to prepare, and then when something, maybe a plan falls through, something doesn't work, somebody gets sick, someone doesn't show up for work, something happens, you have to just give yourself grace and accept the fact that maybe the plan for today that you prepared, had your clothes ready for the gym or the yoga class or whatever you were going to do, didn't work out. And be compassionate with yourself, and then try to prepare again for the next time that opportunity occurs. So preparing is cyclical, especially when it comes to nutrition, because if you are preparing food at home, there will always be dishes. So if you have access to a dishwasher and your dishwasher works, I highly suggest using it. It's one less step. Getting dishes done can be a stressor, and I've heard from a lot of people they don't want to prepare food at home because they don't want to do the dishes. Quick tricks and tips using disposable stuff. I know it's not the best for the environment, but if you are going to have a homemade meal, that is going to be less calories than going out to eat, and you're more likely to prepare that meal on a paper plate. Use paper plates. Do what is going to reduce a barrier, so one less thing to hold you back from making healthy decisions. So the skills that are involved in coaching, the planning, prioritizing, and preparing, these can be applied to any area of life, whether that's financial planning, if it's something related to car maintenance, home maintenance, even relationships, friends you haven't talked to in a long time. Hop on the phone, send them a text message, go on Facebook, even just having a conversation of like, hey, I'd love to meet up with you or have coffee. So planning to have a conversation or making plans communicates to the other person or whatever is the area of your life that this is a priority, and then preparing to do it. If you've always wanted to go on a trip or climb a mountain or do something that is adventurous, this is a great time of year. March, April, May. This is a great time to plan how you're going to spend the next few months. And if you're going to go on some trips and have some adventures, it's a great time to plan prioritize, and prepare. So again, it's Elaine Bintz, fitness coach and nutritionist. These coaching skills can be applied to any area of your life, not just diet and exercise. So I challenge you to implement these skills, planning, prioritizing, and preparing in your life in the month of April. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.